Jimmy was trying a bunch of different stuff. You know, he was
Yeah.
like counting to 1,000,000. He was saying PewDiePie 1,000,000 times. He was listening to the Logan Paul song 1,000 times, whatever. He's these cheap versions of spectacle. Like, who the fuck is going to do that? Like, I gave my 3 millionth subscriber 3 million pennies and like took a dump truck and dumped it on his driveway. Like, he just, what? Well, that's $3 million was in pennies. Yeah. Or like I filled a house pool with Orbeez or some shit like that. Like, just stuff you wouldn't think of. So just creativity. He's just trying a lot of stuff and he's trying to figure it out and he's seeing what pops. And they are so into data. What's the data telling me? Because if you're just doing it for doing its sake, you're not going to learn. You got to really analyze what you're doing. You got to look at the data. You know, what's YouTube doing? What's the algorithm doing? Is it the holiday season? Is it, what kind of content am I putting out there? Like, there's so much stuff that's doable, but what do you end up doing? What's going to hit? What's going to be your brand, right? Like, you can go in and be like, I'm going to do a YouTube channel on this kind of content. May never hit. And then you're like, fuck, I'm going to try this one thing. Try it and it hits. That's what John did. When John was on TikTok back in 2020, he was, he was a Navy SEAL, got out, got injured, did another tour after that and kind of got his medical retirement dialed up, gets out of the military, starts a nonprofit, Elite Meat, which was for special operators that are getting out of the military. And John was trying to connect. Because John was like, man, I need to try to find a job. But he's like, well, what if I help other operators, former operators, to find jobs too? Well, maybe that'll get me to find a job. And then the foundation took off, started bringing in some money. Then he started fucking with digital, right? Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok. And he landed on TikTok, but everyone was doing like dancing stuff or just little kid shit. Like, TikTok is for kids, right?
Yeah.
And so John was trying everything. He had a list of like 100 things. He's like, I'm going to try all this type of content, see what hits. And the very last one, the last idea he had was about telling a strange, dark, mysterious story about the Dyatlov Pass, which is a group of like 7 of like the world's best hikers that are going to get certified. And there's this thing in Russia and, you go through this like terrain and you have different checkpoints and all this stuff. And they didn't end up showing up and they went missing. And all the stuff around it pointed to a lot of weird shit. Could have been Russia, nuclear stuff, could have been, an animal, could have been like anything, strange, dark, mysterious. And so he told that story. He's at a water park with his kids. He's got 3 kids. He's got 8, 6, and 3. And he's at the water park with his kids. I think Ernie wasn't born yet, so he probably just had Ella and Cora. But he puts his phone down. He's in the water park. He's hanging out. Don't want to get his phone wet. Comes back a couple hours later. Goes to the hotel room. Picks up his phone. And it's blown the hell up. He's got like 5 million views on it. He's like, what? So that 100th time of trying different things, he finally found something that worked. He's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to do more stuff like this.